What up, what up, what up? It is another episode of my Opinionated Ass podcast. It's your boy West Meets World.
It's your boy the Indigo Rye.
And we are back. And today, just to let you know, I'm trying something different here. I got this thing called a twisty blunt. So I got like 3 different strains of weed in here, like a indica, a sativa, and a hybrid. And this might make for some good times.
It is a very, very interesting experience.
Right. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and talk about is something that they announced over a month ago, but I'm just now talking about it just because it's coming up soon, and that's DC Fandom. So for you guys not familiar with that, what that is an online event that they're going to have on August 22nd, free to everybody, all day, where basically it's going to be introducing all the new DC products that's coming out. And I know a lot of you may not know, some may know, whatever, but like as far as DC goes, I am a huge DC fan, stan, whatever you want to call it. Like I watch it, like I watch I grew up watching like the Justice League cartoon, the Batman animated series. Like I've seen every single DC movie, probably in theaters. I can say like I just love DC. Like so.
It's like 50-50 with me for some reason when it comes to DC, man. Like, I like DC more than Marvel, but I think I like DC because of the villains.
I mean,
like,
some good villains.
Are so great, man. Like, I feel like the villains of Marvel are just corny.
For the most part, you got some good ones there, here and there and stuff like that. But like, and as far as the comics, it's like some ones for the movies. I was kind of glad they redid them a little bit. Like Killmonger, for instance, they added more to them than like what was present in the comics. But going back to like you said, what I was talking about, like I went and actually, I want to say like even the more recent movies. That's what I'm really more trying to say. Like the more recent movies, right? I'm a fan. Like, say, for example, Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
I still think the regular edition was good, though.
It was cool.
I think it was just misunderstood.
Yeah. Like, it was cool. Some people, like, kind of took stuff out of it that wasn't even in it. Like, people kind of was like, oh, they said Martha, that's all of a sudden they were friends. And it's like, that's not really how that worked out at all.
I feel like the regular version was for normal people, and the Ultimate Edition was for like the true fans, so they could shut up and stop being mad about things that they didn't know was in there and what was not. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it did clear it up. It's funny
too. It's cleared up a lot. Like, it was many, like, it was a couple complaints people would have with the original version. I'll be like, I mean, I liked it, but I guess I kind of get it. But it was so cool because, like, all of those things that people would try to address was all fixed in that Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, and I think another thing, I guess I'm trying to understand how people feel. The movie should have just been the Ultimate Edition. Like, that should have been the actual movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't have had to cut all that stuff out. Like, just let it be.
It was for greed, bro. It was like, it was executives' greed because they wanted to, like, how do I put it? They got scared, and then they, like, know that, like, movies that are like around 2 hours, that's what can be played more often, so generate more revenue. But it's like at the same time, what's it called? Avatar was long as shit, and that's one of the most highest profitable movies of all time.
Well,
same with Titanic.
To be fair though, the reason why Avatar is so long, not so long, the reason why it generated so much revenue is because it was like technically like a technology like breakthrough as far as like high definition.
It was
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because people really didn't care for Avatar for the story. The story was Pocahontas, basically.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was really more for the look of the movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? People wanted to go see Avatar in 3D because it was like, oh shit, we ain't never had a movie like this before that looks so good. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
we spoiled now.
Yeah, like generally for the most part though, they try to keep it around that 2 to 2.5 hour mark. If it goes over that, like, people just start tripping. But I don't understand that though, because like Lord of the Rings is like 4 hours, like, and they did really good.
Titanic, like, it's a lot of different movies, bro. Like, so that don't make...
Dark Knight was long as hell, man.
It was
If
long,
you really think about
but
it,
it wasn't like as long.
it was like 3 hours.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a long movie.
See, I don't know what it was. It's just that like they let Christopher Nolan. Maybe it's just his reputation.
Just hate, man.
Huh?
I'm just gonna say it is hate, man. They were hating.
Dude, they hate like it's like you
They
hired.
hate on DC, man.
No, it's not DC. They just hated Zack Snyder.
That too.
And who it was specifically was a guy Jeff Johns. Like it's funny because he's written a lot of like the comics. So when he got brought on, I'm like, oh snap, he might be like this version's Kevin Feige kind of thing. Like I was excited for him, and then I find out now. Well, first, all the movies that came out, like he came right before the whole Suicide Squad movie came out, and I guess he saw Man of Steel and he hated it because I don't know he's on crack or something. I don't mean that literally, but like he was on something because it was like that was the first Superman movie I've actually ever even liked. Because don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of the other stuff. I've always seen the Christopher Reeve Superman and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I think all the Superman movies was trash until the Man of Steel.
I agree, they
like,
were.
Even the Christopher Reeves, all that. The trash.
It wasn't great.
Was not good.
It
man.
wasn't
trash.
great.
Like, definitely by far the best.
The Brandon Routh one was trash.
Oh yeah, like the best Superman movie ever to come out is the Man of Steel.
Facts.
Period. Like,
and then like it's funny too because the dude Henry Cavill, I've seen him in different things since then, but like he's just always Superman to me now.
I thought he did a good job in Mission Impossible.
I mean, yeah, he did. And
Did you see that?
I saw. Yeah, I did see that. I'm tripping. I'm thinking about
He
this.
was a bad guy.
Yeah, he was.
He did a
which
good
is
job,
also
too.
trippy.
Yeah,
He did a great job also on the Witcher TV show.
Yeah, a
And
great job.
So that was another issue, but it's just like, oh man, it's like Superman. But he's doing this stuff.
You know what's funny though?
Yeah.
I feel like
Man from U.N.C.L.E. was another good movie with him.
yes, it was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. I think I see him more as a Witcher than Superman now, because he just fits.
Just because he was in it more.
Because like you haven't played The Witcher that much yet, have you?
Nah, I'm stuck on this level and I can't get past it.
Yeah, so you don't really know about his character.
Nah, I just know it from the show. But people told me like he's really accurate, and I could tell
he's like extremely accurate.
Like he does that all the time.
Yeah,
like he got that
like
down
his
pat.
character is just on point. Like I feel like he's more accurate as the Witcher than he is on Superman, and that's a statement, man.
He just looks like Superman to me.
But he does look like Superman. I think it's the look that he has. Like,
it does.
He just looks like Superman.
He looks like he's like that's who I picture as Superman now. Like live action, I can't picture any. I feel the way about him as Superman as some people feel about like on the Marvel side feel about like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
I'm gonna take it a step further than that too. I think I can't say his name right now because I think it's Tom Berenthal. Tom Berenthal. I don't know how to say his name.
What is he from?
The Punisher.
I don't know that man's name.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, that guy,
Yeah.
there's nobody that can play the Punisher like him, man.
Really? You didn't like the one with the one on Netflix?
Thomas Jane?
No.
We're talking about the same one.
No, I'm talking about the TV show.
The TV show.
Punisher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His name is Tom Berenthal or something like that.
Oh, John Berenthal. Okay, that's who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't think anybody else can play a Punisher like him.
John Berenthal was good.
That was a great Punisher.
That was he had that.
He just got that look to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like he it was like, but you know what I still see him as though I ain't gonna front? Shane from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
That's still definitely Shane, but no, he killed it as Punisher. I'll give him that.
He did such a good job on that. They're actually talking about putting him in the next movie.
They need to.
I
heard they was thinking about doing that with Michael Cox too, the one who played Daredevil, because he was a great Daredevil.
Yeah. Like, give him roles, man.
They don't put him in it.
They don't have to stick to the TV show. Like, put them in a movie. Like, they deserve that, right, man?
Those two, especially, because that fight scene on the Daredevil with the hallway, that was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
All right, but see, we high, so we got deflected again. So going back,
I mean, we still staying on the comic book. You know, we still staying in.
We still stayed on comics though. You're right. But no, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's right. So nonetheless, what I was saying was that I've always been a fan. See, we ain't even talked about the fandom yet, but
it's all good though, man. You got to get some side notes in there, man.
Nah, for real. No, I'm just talking shit. But no, so with this fandom, it's supposed to be like I said, interactive, and then you can like click into different rooms, I guess, and then like it's 24 hours, and they're like introducing just all the new stuff that they got coming out, like the TV shows, like the new seasons coming out, like that show Titans or Flash, all those type of shows is all coming up because they all ended on especially because they all ended up on cliffhangers because of COVID, like all of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's like no show ended the way it was supposed to end because of COVID. So we're talking about that. So we mentioned on the episode before the Snyder Cut of Justice League is going to be probably elaborated on. They'll probably give us like a teaser trailer or something like that for that because it's like we've been seeing more and more recently all the stuff that was supposed to be included still that's going to be back in it. Like for example, he showed like a low res picture of his design for Steppenwolf and how he looked, and he looks way different than the one that we saw in theaters, and different in a really great way. He looks like
that alien wolf.
Yeah,
that alien look.
Like he's more menacing looking, like, and it just lets you know, especially because it's like 2 hours more content. So it just really lets you know it's going to be a whole different movie. Well, actually,
like
let me take that back.
movie.
It's actually more than 2 hours because so his original version was like close to 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
But the other guy who's in hell right now, Joss Whedon, because he getting a bunch of stuff because of Cyborg actor been dogging him on Twitter and stuff and telling like how he's like about his unprofessional behavior and stuff. But nonetheless, that dude took out scenes and replaced them with his own stupid scenes, like that scene that where Superman's talking to the little kid or whatever at the beginning. That's not supposed to be in. That wasn't in his version. Or like.
So basically, we're getting a brand new movie.
We're basically getting a brand new movie with the same characters. We're getting the movie that was supposed to be.
When is it supposed to come out again?
They said I'm hearing like conflicting things. Like some people I'm hearing saying like as early as this November, like on some kind of surprise stuff. But what they've been telling everybody is first quarter next year.
No, they need to hurry up.
I would love to see it. I would love, but I mean, I guess you gotta give him a little bit more time because they gave him like 30 mil to do all the special effects and all that stuff.
Right. So you gotta go back and edit everything.
Yeah, then make it all one. Like, I mean, plus, he knows the story. He wrote it, Zack Snyder and everything. So, and they're not taming them at all.
So they'll have to go back and do acting and stuff like that too.
No, because
the scenes were already shot.
They already shot, right,
exactly. Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, they maybe might do one or something here and there. But like I know, for example, Ben Affleck. One of the reasons he quit doing it originally is because he wanted to work with Zack Snyder and said Joss Whedon was on trash. So he's like, well, you know what? Screw it. I can't work with these dudes, especially like they said Jeff Johns, because they said he was like allowing this stuff to happen because he just wanted to destroy Zack Snyder's. He basically came in there into DC like after.
I wonder why they hate that dude so much.
Man, because he like I don't know, for some reason.
Like, what did he do to those people?
And his comics aren't like soft, but for some reason he just wants the movies to all just be Marvel like.
Yeah, he wants that kid.
But it's like yo comics aren't even like that. So what are you talking about? Like, because I think he was one of the writers on that Blackest Night story from DC, and like that's a pretty dark story.
And here's the thing I feel
about
DC,
sense?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stop trying to be like Marvel. Just do you, man.
See, and that's the part that, but see, I don't want to say they. It's like specifically Warner Brothers was, because Zack Snyder's story was completely different.
Right.
So, and it was told from,
and it was going good for him.
It was going good. It's just that it was one of those things that like, okay, people would always say DC is dark and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it is.
So it is. So a lot of people, like myself, for example, we like the dark stories.
Yeah, I want to see that.
So, okay, so whereas it was just a pointing it out that it was dark, Warner Brothers is so reactionary. Like, they really do got people that just, like, searching the internet for comments and stuff to see what people are talking about. And, like, unfortunately, a lot of times they give credence to, like, hating people. So...
If you think about it, Justice League, now I go back and look at it, it definitely did have, like, that...
It didn't feel...
terrible... Marvel kid humor to it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like, matter of fact, it was one scene in particular from it that was so bad. It was the scene where they were like under that sewer or whatever.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm thinking of right
when
now.
Flash fell on Wonder Woman. That was so bad. The Gal Gadot, the actress, was like, I don't even want to do this. Like, she like locked herself in her trailer and whatever. Like, I'm not trying to do it. Like, the scene is stupid, and dude was like threatening her career if she didn't do it. So they used a stunt double. That's why like her head is turned, because that wasn't her.
Yeah.
And I get it. That was stupid humor. Like, why are you throwing stupid stuff like that in there? Like,
because DC doesn't need to have humor like that.
No, don't, man. And they already do have, like, they have it. It's just usually subtle.
Like Batman vs Superman.
It had a little bit of humor, small bits, but it was subtle.
Batman vs Superman. Where?
A lot of times with Lex. Because of, like, his pettiness or whatever, like...
I don't think that shit was funny, bro.
It was funny.
Like, my dude...
He was a menace.
He was like a menace, bro. Like,
he really was.
That shit wasn't funny to me. I'm like, bro, this dude's crazy for real. Like,
oh, no, okay, I'll give you an example of like, the subtle humor. So, you remember when Batman saved Martha Kent in the warehouse? One of the best Batman fight scenes ever?
Yeah.
Okay, so, when Batman came in there, he's like, I'm a friend of your son. She was like, oh, I figured the cape... Like, it was slightly funny.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like,
but it fit what was going on. But, like, it's probably, like...
It didn't take you out of it.
Or, like, I think there was another part in there, now that I think about it, when they was about to fight Doomsday, and Superman was like, is she with you? And Batman was like, no, I thought we... But that's, like, 2 literal lines.
I get it,
yeah. 3 hours of content, bro. Like, that's all you need in a DC movie. You don't need nothing else, man, because that shit's not funny, bro. Like,
but see, like, in the story they're telling, it's not supposed to be funny, and that's what made Justice League feel so off, and you can tell it was, like,
it was forced
corrupted.
humor.
Yeah, because it didn't fit any of the previous movie. Even Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had a couple, like, funny moments, but it was still, like, a great movie. Like,
I still haven't seen it yet.
You missing out, bro.
I keep saying, everybody's just telling me.
I don't know why you like slipping right there.
You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna go buy it tomorrow. Go to the exchange and just pick it up.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cheap.
I mean, I got HBO Max and it's right on there, but like, I mean, but you can.
Yeah.
But like,
it's options. I should have been seeing it. That's my fault.
Yeah. So like, but nonetheless, and then okay. So that kind of mentioning Wonder Woman allows me to like kind of go into that because the sequel is coming out, Wonder Woman 84. So they're going to show more footage from that.
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for that?
No, I have not.
It's really good. They got Cheetah as the main villain. But you know what's funny? That who they got playing her, but I think she's gonna like surprise everyone and do well. You know who Kristen Wiig is?
No.
You ever seen Bridesmaids?
Yes.
The main blonde girl from Bridesmaids.
Okay.
That's Cheetah.
Right. Okay.
So like I think she might do good though. Like especially she'll be able to do like the transformation and stuff like that.
Who's supposed to be the villain?
Her.
Okay.
Cheetah and then this dude Maxwell Lord.
Okay.
But Cheetah is like one of Wonder Woman's like biggest villains, like of all, like as far as comics.
I haven't seen Cheetah in so long, man.
I mean,
I forgot she existed as a villain, man. But I don't really keep up too much on Wonder Woman comics, if that makes sense. I'm not saying Wonder Woman is a bad comic. I just never followed. I only followed Wonder Woman in the Justice League. I never followed her with her own.
I never watched
comics.
a lot of them. Read a lot of them, but I would say I learned about I seen Cheetah initially from like even like the animated series, like the Justice League Unlimited, and then also even more recently that Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Like she was in it. She wasn't like a villain technically because they all trying to just survive at this point. Right. So they gotta put their squabbles aside because Darkseid don't care about none of them. So
Darkseid doesn't care about nobody.
Nobody.
Literally just nobody. Like, I'm a boss and this is what it is.
You know what's funny even about that? So Steppenwolf is actually Darkseid's uncle.
This is uncle.
Yeah, so like he's working so hard to just try to impress his uncle and get in his nephew. To get into the good graces of his nephew, and it's like, God, like how powerful he gotta be.
Man, you know how much of a boss you gotta be
to where your uncle
respects you. Like your uncle
is subservient to you. Like
yeah, Yo, Uncle, man. Like, yeah, Darkseid.
And then that's another thing. Like going to the Justice League movie, Darkseid was supposed to be in that movie. It was an actor named Ray Porter that was supposed to be voicing him, and like I was excited to see that, but like Warner Brothers decided to just cut all that stuff out. It didn't make sense, but they did it.
Yep.
So
that's what they do to DC. They fail us every time.
I mean, but luckily, all those people who did that failure either got let go or just put into other departments because they sucked. So that's why I'm glad that whole HBO Max thing now, because whoever's like running that, I have mad respect for them because they even told Zack Snyder, he said it like. Because normally they gotta make a couple compromises.
Right.
He said they had him do no compromises.
Hey man, you just remind me of something. I'm about to say a very blasphemous opinion. I don't even care. I'm gonna say it because we're talking about DC.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Knight series is a great series. I think the movies are phenomenal, but that's not what I want, man. Just keeping it honest.
I don't like Christian Bale is the worst part of all his movies.
I feel like on the first one, he did good, and I feel like, but 2 and 3 is just not good to me.
The movie or like him?
Just him.
Okay.
I feel like he did a great job as Batman in the first one, and then 2 and 3, he just like. It was like it was forced.
His story was stupid.
Yeah, that too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He was a terrible detective. He fought like a Tybo fight. Like the Tybo or like, remember Parappa the Rapper?
Well, yeah, he was stiff. He was stiff as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
I just like the villains.
Yeah, the villains. Like, I mean, the story itself was great. The actors were great. But, like, no, Ben Affleck is what I want, man. I want that Batman. That's the Batman that I grew up on. That's what I want to see. Like, I don't want a realistic Batman. I want Batman. Like, cause that's Batman. Like, you know what
Batman
I'm saying?
isn't realistic.
He's not realistic.
I mean, he's human,
yeah.
Yes, but like, Batman has a contingency thing for everything. Like that's not
fucking comic book. Like, I don't want too realistic, man. Like,
because you can't be humanistic like that and then also be in the same like group as Superman.
Like this Batman, I don't want to see Batman fighting all stiff and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the greatest martial artist of all time. Like, I want to see you beat somebody's ass for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like they just made it too realistic, man. Like, and I get it, man. But like, nah, like, good movie as far as like the way it was produced and directed. But as far as a fan, that's not it, man. Like, for real.
Nah, I feel you. That's why I was excited. Like, when it was originally going to do some Ben Affleck solo Batman movies, I was excited because
I can't wait.
That was Batman I wanted to see. Now, I ain't going to lie. So, they're going to also, because they got a new Batman now coming out. It's Robert Pattinson. And they're going to probably introduce footage.
You talking about the Batman, what's that one called? Batman, the future Batman. When Robert Keaton's playing Bruce Wayne.
No, that's something. I'm gonna get to that though.
Okay.
No, it's they're doing the Mike. See, he messed me up. So, but no, they're doing the Robert Pattinson Batman. Like they're gonna have Zoe Kravitz in it as Catwoman.
Okay.
Who else? What's that man's name? He played the guy who played Bullseye in that old Daredevil movie.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, there we go. Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin. So they're gonna.
Well, hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, Colin Farrell's playing the Penguin.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, but Colin Farrell's a good actor though, so it might work.
But that don't.
I mean, they may do CGI. I don't know how they're doing it. They've been keeping it so under wraps. I forgot the name of the guy who's playing Riddler.
It might work.
It might, but you know why I think it might though?
I thought Heath Ledger would play a good Joker.
Right. I trust the director, Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves is the one who did the Planet of the Apes trilogy that came out a couple of, maybe 5-6 years ago. Like the first one had James Franco on it, and then it was Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I know what you're
right?
talking
Yeah,
about.
those okay.
That new trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like, as far as trilogies go, that's probably one of the best trilogies I've ever seen in my life. Like all three of them are fired. The third one ended the story perfectly.
That's a tough statement.
I mean, as far as trilogies go, because usually when you try for trilogies, you have like one or two that may be not that great.
Are you talking about like top 10, 20 best? Or are you talking about like top 3, 5?
I'm talking about top 3 best trilogies ever. I'm not saying like best movies within it, because like I said, there's movies like say the Captain America trilogy where I didn't like the first one. I love the second one. It was amazing. It's one of the best Marvel movies they made. But in the second one, the third one, Civil War, I didn't really like it. So like that's not taken away from how great Winter Soldier was.
Okay.
But it's saying like as far as the whole entire trilogy in itself, it wasn't that great. But like with the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes movie,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because that's a hell of a statement. Like now you're gonna make me watch them all over again.
What, the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, like
you should. They were really great movies.
I think of a great trilogy. I think of like The Matrix.
I mean, that's another one.
I think of like The Matrix, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that.
But no, man, I'm telling you, like,
it's really that good.
It's really that good, bro. Like,
but I didn't see the last one, so I can't.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was like, it wasn't the best movie itself. Like,
you're just talking about how it was put together.
How it was all put together, the overall arcing story. It was the best trilogy I've ever seen.
Okay, all right, I'll give it a shot.
So because that's who's doing it, I'm like hyped about it because I mean. Zack Snyder's one of my favorite ones, but Matt Reeves has shown in his track record that, okay, I feel like it's in good hands. He can put together a Batman movie. So, and then when they announced Robert Pattinson, like looking at him, I can see it.
Who's playing the Riddler?
Man, I can't remember that dude's name. He played, only movie I've ever seen him in was, it was this movie that came out called The Girl Next Door. He played like this nerdy friend or whatever. It's like a dude with like glasses. I
don't want anybody playing the Riddler unless it's Johnny Depp.
Man, Johnny Depp ain't doing nothing for a minute.
Yeah, he's sitting down now, man.
Yeah, he got his stuff going on with with Mira from Aquaman. Yeah. They got their own marriage squabble that's messy right now. So like he kind of busy with that.
Yeah. He just messed up. He would play a good Riddler.
He probably would have, but at the same time, Johnny Depp was just a good actor anyway. He could have played Riddler. He could have played Joker. He could have played Doctor Strange.
He does good. He does good at weird characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, he's one of those fantastic people that could play a lot of different roles.
Just do whatever he wants.
He's like he's another person that I think could have honestly played a role like Iron Man. I feel like Johnny Depp could have played that also.
Yeah.
So
because he can play anything.
Yeah,
literally anything. I just seen this man play serious roles to kid roles to weird roles. Like that's one actor I can say
that man.
He's the most versatile. I think he's one of the most versatile actors of all time.
He is
definitely in the top 5 for sure. Like that can literally play anything. So you got a good point.
Yeah. So so that's it. Like I said, that's being announced. So I'm excited for that. They announced like a Suicide Squad game. Like the poster for it was pretty dope. It was like Suicide Squad, and then it was like a target on the head of Superman. So I guess it's like supposed to be Suicide Squad versus the Justice League kind of thing. So that sounds like that's gonna probably be dope. They got a new Batman game coming out called like Arkham. Something like Arkham Knight. No, we already had Arkham Knights. It's something I forgot. Yeah. But it's supposed to be, like I said, that's coming out. What else did they introduce? They showed stuff from The Suicide Squad, which is like a soft reboot of the original Suicide Squad. To where they got like different people. I know like Pete Davidson is supposed to be in it. James Gunn is directing this one. The guy who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Who else? John Cena's in it.
Okay.
I think. Who else? I mean, still Margot Robbie's back in it. Idris Elba's in it. So that one may be actually good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just glad King Shark's in it. I'm just glad the guy who played, because like I said, what I did like about Suicide Squad with Deadshot and Harley Quinn, and what I hated about it more than anything ever in any movie in my entire life was the Killer Croc. That was a terrible performance. It pissed me off. It just made me angry. Because it was like, you know what it was? It was because it was like, he's obviously supposed to be a black guy. We can see that. We know the real actor is a black guy and stuff like that. But the way that they portrayed him as a black person pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they just gave him lines that were just so corny and stereotypical. Like, it was like one of those movies to where, like, you can tell that there weren't any actually black people inside of the writing room with making this black character.
Right.
Like, he's sitting there, like, one of the worst parts was like, I'm beautiful. I'm like, oh, shut up. And then, like, the final straw to me was at the end where he was like, I want BT. And it's like, what?
They was trying to force it.
I was like, we don't even watch BT no more. How you going like?
Yeah, they was trying to force it. Man.
Oh, and then you had
something that wasn't supposed to be forced.
And then it was like a stereotype because when you showed the scene of him having BET, you're showing like old uncut, like BET uncut kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
right.
so it's like the black entertainment television is just booty shaking, is what y'all trying to tell us in this scene. It's
Right.
like that was trash. I hate whoever decided to put that in there.
I
Kick
wasn't
yourself.
a fan of Shazam either.
I actually did like Shazam because Shazam fit who he was as a character. That was jokey, like the Marvel things is, but
yeah, like you said, he's a kid.
he's literally a child.
A child in an adult body.
Yeah, so that one I wasn't really mad at. I can have that one be like a playful one, like. So, but
that's about it though.
That's it. Yeah. I feel you.
That's about it.
And then I do want him to have it more of a serious tone if he's going to eventually be in, like, say, the Justice League movies or something like that. Like, but see, that's why I like how they did it on that animated movie, the Justice League War, because on that movie they made it that he was a kid and everything doing it, but he was fucking up. And like Wonder Woman slammed him into the wall and was basically like, "Hey, quit fucking up."
You know something I'd like to see do?
What?
A Supergirl movie.
They was talking about that, but I think they were only talking about this so they can get Henry Cavill back in the room to negotiate as far as the contract.
Yeah, he was about to be out, man.
Yeah.
He was out.
He was low-key out, but now he re-signed the contract. That's what I'm saying. Bringing Zack Snyder back into the fold brought all these people back to wanting to work again.
I think they starting to realize that though now.
They are. It just took them, like, they was like stubborn.
It took them the fuck up to understand and like, hey, look, we do need this guy.
Because I think they probably at Warner Brothers probably told Jeff Johns, like, look, like, we respect you and everything, and we get what you're saying about it, but like,
start costing us
the
money,
movie,
bro.
yeah, you cost, because all the movies that we did with Zack Snyder at the helm made like 800 mil plus, but all the ones since you started changing it, started going downhill.
Yeah, and like the fans do
So
count.
so it's like if you don't want like it, fine, but you got to recognize that other people do.
Other people do, right?
Because like even to some people who try to talk crap about it, at the end of the day, they still went and saw the movies.
Right.
But like the people who was diehard for it at the beginning, y'all kind of just told them like F you.
Yeah, and then you see like nobody like DC had a shine, and they had a good thing going on, and then after the Justice League happened, people was just like, man, fuck this, like they're all trash, and that right there costs you money, bro. Like
definitely costs the money.
So they're making the right decision.
Yeah, well, HBO Max specifically is making the right decision. Like,
yeah, technically. Yeah.
But let's see, what was the last thing? I'm trying to think of everything that they announced. So like I said, I've already touched on the games, the shows that they're going to be doing. That's like I said, that's what we know so far. Obviously, when we actually have the event, we'll really see, because I know they got a lot of speakers and stuff there. Oh, that's another movie. I forgot. You mentioned it before. I did say I was going to touch on it when we talked about Michael Keaton's Batman. So the Flash movie, they're going to probably show some stuff from that. I forgot about that. And they're bringing, I've heard rumors that they're bringing Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He played the dad on Batman vs. Superman, bringing him back to play the old Batman, the old man Batman.
Right.
Not the old man Batman, I'm sorry, the dark Batman from Flashpoint. There we go, Flashpoint Batman.
What's that comic book? Batman,
was
is it Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond, that's the one they have, because they're also having Michael Keaton. They're bringing him back
for the Bruce.
Well, no, I don't know exactly what he's going to be. Yes, an older Bruce Wayne. Yeah. I don't know if they're doing it like how, like somewhere Flash in time is going through and he sees that, or if they're doing it to where he comes across them. Because I'm saying like it would be obviously like everyone's dream casting or dream come true for him to play old man Bruce in like a Batman Beyond story.
That would be dope, man.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's even introducing it, because I don't know. It's kind of like, because when they did that whole thing of bringing the Flash actor to the TV show version of the Flash, that was just such a game changer.
That's a really dark comic, man.
It is.
Dark Batman Beyond. Like,
oh yeah,
that is not a happy comic, man.
But like, yeah, so when they did that, and I was like, oh snap, like y'all brought the, like, so y'all are showing that this is all one connected multiverse now, like, so like the stuff that y'all can do now is kind of endless, because all you got to do is be like, because before they couldn't, for example, have Superman on like those TV shows because of the movie. Now, because of this multiverse, they can have any Superman they want on anything, because like it's just they was just to say it's a different universe.
It's a different universe, right?
Yeah. Even with the last season of this show, Batgirl or whatever, they actually showed who they're gonna make a Bruce Wayne in that universe. So
really,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So and they just all Batman, it's just different universes. So it's like, yo, that was like low key a genius move.
They're making some right. They're making some good moves for they're trying to put it in the right direction.
And then
Finally,
doing it in that manner too makes it that like yeah, if you didn't like this one, so it's like say Henry Cavill is in one universe, what's it called? Christopher Reeve is in another universe. It's like that's dope. I don't know.
I can't see anybody else playing Superman though.
I know we talked about that. I can never see anybody, but
Can't see it.
I mean, I see it on like the Supergirl show, and it's cool or whatever. But like the ultimate Superman is still Henry Cavill.
Yep.
All right, but look, we went on way too long about this one here, so we
Being nerds today.
definitely being nerds today here. But we're gonna go ahead and actually switch it up. So like, what I wanted to switch it about now is there was a report that I read recently in regards to that station MSNBC. So it came out that one of their producers decided to quit because of the kind of rampant bias and everything that they got with them.
Fraud.
I mean, it was definitely fraud. Like, but like, she was just basically she was just basically saying like, look, like they'll sit there and tell reporters you can't talk about this. They'll tell them like, so it's kind of like it's supposed to be a news station, but they're like picking and choosing different aspects or little like certain aspects that only pass their agenda, and then that kind of does feed into sadly the whole thing that Trump says about in regards to fake news, because it's like, yo, like what are y'all doing here?
But it goes on both sides, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it definitely goes on a lot on Fox News.
Fox News too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But they've owned their biases. Like only, I mean,
yeah, they don't even
Fox News
they don't
though.
even argue it.
Like Fox News has been reported like several times to actually make people stupid. So
Yeah.
like as a dead ass study, like so. But like MSNBC is the one that a lot of people sadly trust, and then it's like you get like they make it that they're letting it be known that they're in interest of like say corporate Democrats.
I see the same. I feel like the same way as with CNN too.
CNN, honestly, of the top three or those three, they're the
better ones
of those three. But yeah, CNN does mess up a lot. But at least they got certain people that
they just look good while doing it.
Like they look better. Like Chris Hayes is somebody. Chris Hayes is somebody that's like somewhat like on like say like on the left side or whatever, tries to actually be fair in regards to what they're doing. Like, but like and as far as like MSNBC, like none of them do it.
Oh yeah, they're straight Democratic.
Centrist Democrat. Yeah,
straight.
Because like it's a woman named Crystal Ball. She's a reporter on this show called The Hill. It is very. She said that the one time when she worked for them, because like I said, now she got her own thing with YouTube or whatever. But when she worked for them, she said that she tried to do like a story about say like Hillary Clinton, and then they came and like reprimanded her about that and punished her because like how dare you, like you can't come at Hillary Clinton, like so it's like wow. Right. And then like it was another guy, and I hate that I can't think of his name right now, but like he because he died a couple years ago, but he was an anchor there for on MSNBC, and they just straight up told him like say when 2016 when like Bernie announced his candidacy, they would not let them cover it. So and then like even say with a lot of the like the like even like the debates back last year or whatever, you had even like the questions, like you can tell it was designed in a way to attack Bernie Sanders. Like they asking everyone else, like, "Hey, what did you like to do growing up?" But they asking Bernie, "Hey, how do you feel when people say that you're going to destroy America?" Like, wait, what? Like that's dead serious how they were positioning it.
It's MSNBC is the opposite equivalent of Fox News for Democrats.
They are facts.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Like definitely facts.
And it's hard to watch. Like even if you're a Democrat, you still got to look at it like and be like, bro.
So you know what my thing is with both Fox and MSNBC. I was actually talking to a friend about this earlier today. Like I don't, because this is what they both do constantly. They're always majority of their news coverage is telling what the other side thinks. I don't like that. And let me elaborate. Like, okay, so in regards to say like Trump, I don't like Trump because of what's come out of Trump's mouth. I don't care about what somebody on MSNBC said about him. It's what I've actually heard. And then as far as like Fox News, they'll sit there and then say, like, I'll give you the best example. So like right now, say Joe Biden right now, right?
Right.
They'll say simultaneously he's a sleepy Joe and he's this and he's like borderline mental, and then on the other hand they'll say he's this future socialist that's going to bring America into socialism. And the ironic thing about it is like if Joe Biden was the way that Fox News tries to scaremonger him of being, I would actually like Joe Biden.
Right.
But he's nothing.
But he's nothing like that.
He's nothing
though.
like that.
Yeah.
But like Fox News would sit there and hammer over and over again that he's this, that, and the third, and like you're lying. That's why I said I don't trust anybody when you're telling me someone else's perspective. I want to hear yours and you defend yours. But when you start telling me what the other people thinking, you're doing the same type of Hitler
you're
tactics.
just lying.
You're lying.
It's
you
fraud.
have an invested interest in lying to me.
It's fraud.
So. But as far as your own proposition, your own thing that you're saying, I can listen to you and see if your plan sounds feasible, if it sounds like it'll work and stuff like that, then I can listen. But other people are going to lie. Like even with the MSNBC, with the whole Medicare for All thing, they just straight lied all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that girl resigning and her talking about that really just
it was like an open letter that she did. She was like, they like the leaders just try to control, like they literally control the narrative, and it's like so damaging to democracy because people go based off that.
They want you to talk about, and you say what they want you to say.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's messed up, man. Because like you should be allowed. That's what news is. You should be allowed to have your opinion.
You know what's hilarious though is that like they always scream that it's like some kind of like a right wing bias. Like you always hear like Trump say that, like, or they say that Candace Owens and all them like oh, they're trying to shut down conservative voices. Like that's such a big piece of horse crap because like if you, I know like so like. Cause like I look at it like you say even MSNBC or CNN, they always bring Republicans on to explain the dumb shit that Trump said, always. But if it comes to someone say like a leftist or like a progressive person, they never want to bring them on ever. Like the only time they started to kind of bring them on was when it looked like that woman that Bernie Sanders was about to win the candidacy. That's when they started kind of bringing some of them. Like you started finally seeing Nina Turner on actual mainstream stuff all the time. So blah blah blah, whatever, right? So
Fox News just put an end to that altogether, man. After D.L. Hughley got on there, it was like, we will never do this again, bro.
But see, what's crazy is compared to even that, even Fox News gave that man a town hall. Because MSNBC let him just explain his policies, and people was actually cheering for him. But like MSNBC got people like you ever heard? I don't know if you ever heard the complaint, but I always heard like I hate to say it, a lot of times it's from women. They'll say it's like about Bernie, like he just sounds so angry, which is so weird because and that's how presented, but that's how he was presented on MSNBC. Right. But that's like not like the dude was like honestly to me he was soft. He was too polite because like that's what kind of helped propel.
He's a polite guy.
He's super polite, he's super nice, which is
with that?
it shouldn't be bad. It was just bad because obviously the other people weren't being polite to you. Like you sitting there presenting Joe Biden, every time you mention his name, you say Joe Biden's a friend. It's like stop doing that. Yeah, because you did that. That's why people didn't understand the gravity of how crappy Joe Biden is.
Yeah, y'all know, man. People are just weird, man. Like,
they are.
People want you to be that mean. If you're too nice.
But that's what made it weird that you're telling him that you're saying he sounds mean. Like, what are you talking? Or he sounds angry. And then it's like at the same time, even if he did sound angry, man, he got a right to be. We should all be angry right now. Like,
we should all be mad about that shit.
Like, we should all be like the way that this country is going right now. Like, we should all be angry, and like we need to fix it. Like, so he should have been angry, but he still wasn't even angry. But y'all still like dogging, and then like I said, the Elizabeth Warren woman decided to lie and say he was like this secret sexist that without any context said that a woman won't win. Like it didn't make sense at all. It didn't fit his character. Right. It was stupid. But those are the same people that's like, oh yeah, he was a super sexist for that. But then Joe Biden gets accused of rape, and it's like, oh well. I know I said I believe in women. I know. I really
it's
do.
Funny how that narrative changed.
I know, like
narrative always changes.
But you know, I'm with Joe though. And then like even the woman, what's her name, Alyssa Milano, was like, "Oh, when I went on this crusade, I didn't think it would take out an innocent man. Shut yourself up, because you didn't carry nothing."
You heard about what they? Because we on politics, man, and I'm bringing that up since we're talking about Joe Biden and a little bit of Trump. Did you hear about Trump trying to put Kanye on the ballot just to take away votes, man?
He wasn't. It was sort of like that. So I guess the full detail is his people from his campaign were helping put. Yeah, they were helping put Kanye on the ballot, like in different, because they know he can't technically win because he can't register in enough states until it's too late. Like you waited till 100 days before the election to say I want to be president all of a sudden. So, but they want him to, because they think that black people are some monolith and that black people just see, oh, Kanye West is running and will hotep it up to the polls and vote for him, which would take away votes from Joe Biden, I guess, according to their logic.
It'll take a lot of votes away from Joe Biden.
But, like, I hate that narrative just because it's like, when you say votes are taken away, that's like saying that automatically they're the ones who deserve my vote. Like,
well, yeah,
I hate that narrative because of that.
I guess what I'm saying is if Kanye was to run for president, it would definitely take votes away from Biden. But the issue that presents itself is it is a low grade strategy for Trump to do that. I mean, he's just using it.
He's also doing a whole bunch of voter remember he said something like voter like absentee voting is different than mail-in votes, but except for Florida, because Florida can do it because he knew Florida is a Republican. So he's like, except for Florida, but like we shouldn't do because, and also because he did it mail-in votes, but he claims, and he's trying to lie and say that mail-in vote and absentee voting are some different process. They're literally the exact same process, but they keep repeating it.
He's doing everything he can
to
take away votes from Joe Biden.
Yeah, because like
everything he can, man.
Because Republicans don't win when there's a majority voting.
He's not.
It's only when people don't give a crap about voting that year and like the turnout is low. Because even with when Hillary won,
that's how it is this year.
It may be. I think the only
so low, man. Like
the only reason why I think it won't be low now compared to before is because like a lot of people do unfortunately see like it's not gonna be votes for Biden. It's gonna be protest votes against Trump. I think that's going to be at a high level because he is really that garbage. Now, there's definitely going to be a lot of people that are like, nah, I ain't really doing either of them. So that's going to happen, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be motivated.
All-time high, too.
Possibly, because it's like,
going to be split in half between
we're voting for two Republicans. That's all we're doing.
Yeah, basically.
It's just...
I don't know. We had a bet, bro. We had a bet.
I know. I'm still on my side. I still think he's going to lose.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right.
That's a good $200 to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, I think, but it's just that he's about to cheat every single way possible to like, because he doesn't have like morals or anything like that that would prevent people from doing it. So
he doesn't care.
He doesn't care. Like you can, like he embraces the fact that everyone hates him. Like,
I think what's scary is how his fans are not going to go down without a fight either, man. Man, this is a scary time, man. This is some scary shit, man. Like, this is November through January is going to be hell. Because, so if he loses, of course, obviously he's going to dispute it because he already said he wouldn't concede, basically. He's like, I'll see what happens. And then also, like, because you remember, like, when Obama was, like, his last, like, time, whatever, he was like, I'm done being president. He was doing certain good stuff, like he freed that woman, Chelsea Manning, and things like that. Because he's like, screw it. Y'all can't do nothing to me anymore. So, Trump's going to do the opposite. Trump is going to rain hell. Like, all the people that he teetered around, if he's going to, like, pardon them and stuff like that, his friends, he's probably pardoning all of them. Like, it's going to be
super corrupt.
It's about to be crazy, dude.
Like, that's gonna be, from November to January until Joe Biden replaces or whatever, it's gonna be a lot of corruption.
Man, it's gonna be interesting.
And it's already been a lot of corruption, but that's gonna be at an all-time high of corruption because that's gonna be a man who has nothing to lose anymore. Yeah. And then plus, it's not like the Democrats are actually gonna grow a spine and actually like arrest him for anything of the crimes he's done. So they'll probably end up in 10 years. Michelle Obama and him will be taking a picture together, smiling or some shit. Yeah. But like, nonetheless, because it's like, I mean, essentially that's what they did with George Bush, and George Bush is definitely a war criminal. So
one of the worst presidents of all time.
Yeah, and he's like the whole weapons of mass destruction was BS. The Iraq War that we're still in to this day was trash. Like he crippled the economy. People don't really. They're kind of stupid too because every time Republicans own the government, have control, they always mess up the economy because they think they. It's ironic too because like people will swear up and down, right? That say something like socialism, even though we already have it, doesn't work. But then we'll just keep letting these idiots get in there with this fake trickle down economics, hoping that rich people are going to one day be like, "Oh yeah, here you go. Here, there's all this profit we're getting now. We're going to go ahead and pass it down." And they're going to increase their own bank accounts and they're going to put more money over like the Cayman Islands.
That's because Republicans only care about their financial gain themselves.
Exactly.
Like you heard about that Trump signing an executive order for the unemployment. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you see Mike DeWine saying that we can't afford it?
Can't.
Huh?
We can't.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, not based off what's already allocated, because that's the problem too. Because he can't go around them to do what he tried to do, but because they've already unfortunately allocated a lot of money towards. Because this is the middle of the year, so they
got so much money.
They got it.
They got it,
but they've already got it designated to go to like other people. Sadly, we still give money to Saudi Arabia, even though they're the ones who committed 9/11.
No. What I'm saying is, Mike DeWine was saying the state doesn't have it.
If they can make it come from the state's revenue, then they probably don't. I mean, because a lot of people claimed unemployment.
Yeah. So, like, cut your salary, bro. Like, you make $6,000 a week. Cut it.
You can cut it.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do, bro. Like you cut it by $1,000, man. You don't need it. Like you good, bro. Like do a tax cut, bro. They there's always money saved up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like, bro. Because like think about all the stuff that they said they couldn't do, but look at what they did when it's happening. Mm-hmm. That lets you know what they really can do. Like. They got it. They just don't want to.
They just don't want to. They want to figure out ways to keep funneling into the money pockets of these corporations.
Come on, man. So you telling me these other smaller countries,
can all do it,
but we can't?
Like they always want to make comparisons to us when it comes to something like Venezuela, but you never want to make comparisons when it comes to all these people that's obviously doing better than us.
Right? Like, come on, man. These poor third world countries can do it, but we can't. Right. And we're supposed to be like the richest, baddest country in the world.
Come on, man. Yeah,
like,
right.
Come on, man. Either we really don't have it, or we really do, and we're just shiesty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the latter. So. All in all, because we did it again, I just wanted to say the media, as far as mainstream media, it sucks. Like, say you got good ones that's out there, like The Hill Rising, Young Turks, Humanist Report, Kyle Kalinske show. Like, as far as these are all like online and stuff like that. These are ones that like I actually can go to and like listen to like the real stuff that's out there. But it's just as far as it's another one, Progressive Voice too, Benjamin Dixon, and those are the ones I can think of at the top of my head right now. But like it's like a lot of these people are the ones that I go to personally for like my sources. And then of course, I mean, because I don't trust any person specifically anyway, and I say this kind of just as advice, like, just kind of look into stuff. Like, go back to say like in high school. You remember when we had to like provide like 3 citations and everything in regards to our work? We got to do it like that, you know. So apply that to real life right now. So I'd say all that to say, screw mainstream news. But as far as what Ryan was just talking about there, we're going to use that actually as a segue for the other end. We're going to go ahead and get into more in depth in regards to that $600 extra per month in regards to the unemployment. So stay tuned. Hey, you like what you're hearing? You want us to keep going? Well, guess what? Me too. So, why don't you go ahead and help us out? Go ahead and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/WesUs Media. There, you can go ahead and help us out, and we'll even give you exclusive content and depending on your tier, we give you some of our content early. So go ahead and visit our Patreon again at patreon.com/Wes Media. Thank you.
So what Wes was talking about before, we're going to get into the $600 unemployment, and I liked
The stimulus bonus, or no, I'm sorry, yeah, the unemployment bonus.
yeah, the
yeah.
unemployment bonus, yeah.
And then the crazy part is people not even getting that $600 anymore, like because they couldn't come up with any type of an agreement to the whole stimulus package and everything. And I know that Trump is trying to do that pretty much illegal executive order in regards to it. So it's just it's a whole mess happening with that. And so unfortunately the people who are hating got like less to hate about. Like I just but it's still like we're in a situation right now that we need to definitely work together.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to get into how people are upset at people getting that money, and they're not upset, at their employers for not getting them, enough money and extra hazard pay like the nurses and stuff like that. If you're on unemployment, it is not your fault. You know what I'm saying? And you shouldn't have to suffer because people that are working aren't getting that money. The employers need to pay you more money. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you people on unemployment should get it taken away. That's basically my stance on it. And just mind your fucking business, man. Because you don't count people's pockets.
I think
count your own.
I feel like they should count pockets, but they're counting pockets from the wrong people. And it goes with what you kind of said in regards to the employer, like because during this pandemic, man, these millionaires, these billionaires, I should say, have been raking in money. Like money. Yeah. So like
Amazon's killing it right now.
Of course, yeah, definitely. So because of the fact that they've been raking all this money in, and then they should be paying people hazard pay. Like for example, like you're forcing these people to put their lives at risk. You're telling everyone now that obviously these people are essential, and so if they're essential, treat them like it. Yeah, Right. So, but you know what it is though? It's like it's easier to punch down. So instead of punching up, yeah. So like a lot of people who don't know what's going on and everything like that, so they see that they're working, but see these people getting this other money, so they don't know what to do. So the only thing they can do is, okay, I see you as like the enemy. It's sort of like the same thing as like and we're gonna touch on this a lot actually on our final topic there. But like, say when people get mad at immigrants talking about they taking our jobs, all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So, but it's like it's not the immigrants' fault, and they're like, these are jobs you're not trying to work at anyway. Like, they've even had like farms like actually try to pay people to work like on their farm hands and stuff like that, and people did not. American citizens did not do it. Like, they did not want those jobs. So. And then obviously not saying that those Spanish people aren't qualified for just those type of work, but I'm saying they still are willing to take the work that we're not willing to take. And if we were willing to take it, it would raise the prices of it. So you'll end up paying like $10 for a piece of for an orange.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like,
so
if you're gonna pocket watch the billionaires. Like, don't pocket watch the people that are laid off, dude. Like,
and it's actually weird. People it's people who
laid off for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, people having sympathy for these billionaires. It makes no sense to me. And actually, we're going to actually really talk about that next. But like, yeah, and like people. So because they don't know, though, like I said, they just punch down, but they're mad at the wrong people.
It's a reason why people are on unemployment. Like, you can't just have no job and you go sign up for unemployment. Yeah. You had to have been employed for a decent amount of time to receive that shit. So they're not lazy. They got laid off. And it was essential workers that got laid off as well. People don't want to talk about that either. Like, in certain states, truck drivers are getting laid off. All types of shit. Machinists, everything that has government contracts. People that were doing stuff for our nation were still getting laid off.
And it's so crazy. Several companies got paid like that extra, that super extra $20 million stimulus money that the government gave.
Right.
But then they would end up laying off workers. So you just pocketed this money. Like, so it makes no sense. So that's what I'm saying. Like, these are the people, and then they're like deepening and deepening the wage gap, between like the 1% and the 99%. It just become like there's no middle class anymore.
No, not at all. Like
maybe upper middle class, but there's no
upper,
normal.
I would say upper middle class.
But there's no normal level of middle class anymore because you can't. Because like even say with something like minimum wage, there's at this point in time, there's no place in the country that you can make minimum wage and afford a 1-bedroom apartment.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like,
and then obviously these people that are working as like in the grocery stores and stuff like that, they're making close to minimum wage. So these people are making that, and they can only afford to live with their parents still. Like, or they maybe like an older person that can only, like, they happen to have already had like a husband that got money or a wife that got money, so they're doing this to like spare time kind of thing.
Right.
So
people's priorities are just screwed up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just screwed up, man. Like I don't find it productive to be mad at people who's just unemployed. Like, I feel like the productivity would be better suited for you to be mad at your employer. Don't be mad that somebody got laid off, okay? Like, they need help too. And then and another topic that I wanted to discuss about this topic is like people telling people how to spend their money.
That was actually,
you know what
I'm glad you said that, because that kind of goes into like, because they was giving extra money on regards to food stamps as well. And people like getting, like, they'll see somebody in line, they got a steak or whatever, and they're using like an EBT card, and they get pissed at them. And it's just like, how dare you, kind of like, how you gonna say, oh, because my taxes paid for it, all they want, like, what you want them to eat, just bread and water? Is that like all they're allowed to eat with their food stamps? Like, they can't treat themselves to one good meal like probably once in a blue moon, because of the fact that your taxes go towards it, when it's only like probably of taxes collected, I saw a chart, like, it's only probably like maybe 3% of your taxes that goes towards like those, it's from the payroll tax. So it's like that super small percentage of your taxes goes towards those social programs like that. Majority of your taxes go towards war or funding your local police department. Local taxes goes towards that. Federal taxes typically goes towards the military. So that's where the majority is going to. But you're seeing the 50% of your money being wasted on war or given to contractors, but you're mad about the 3%.
Literally, the 3%.
Yeah, the 3%. It doesn't at all make sense to be mad about that.
Doesn't make sense, man.
But again, it's easier to punch down.
Yeah, well, or it's because it's lazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's lazy. It's lazy. Instead of calling people that are on unemployment lazy, it's just lazy for you to punch down instead of be a man or a woman and go talk to your boss and demand that shit.
Or honestly, not even like just them talk to their boss. Like, you need to create a union or like create like a force, because people don't understand the power that they should have as employees. Right. So
if they fail to realize, just like you said.
But like as far as employees, your company can't run like without you. So like, even people try to give credit, like, to say, I'll say Steve Jobs. Okay, yeah. Steve Jobs, he created. Now you got that guy Wozniak, that's the CEO of that. Since Steve Jobs did, the CEO of Apple, he's not inventing anything. If anything, with the products, honestly, he's like taking stuff away. But that's a different topic for a different day. But but he's not creating anything. But the experience that's keeping customers satisfied is being created by the employees. Like, you're doing all this stuff and you're proud of your service is because of the employees. So you have, as an employee, that type of power, or you should be demanding that type of power. Like, you work, like, 'cause that's so many times, and I've worked for like corporations and stuff like that. It's so many times to where they'll make decisions that affect the employees heavily. And a lot of times they'll affect the employee and a customer, where the customers will call in pissed, but they got to take it out on you as the bottom level, like customer service agent, for example. And the person who made the decision, that's reaping all the financial benefits of the decision, is up top, and he don't got to listen to that at all. He can just make the decision and then like smoke a cohiba. Like,
so it's a trickle down effect. It just starts at the top and just goes down.
Exactly. Like nothing trickle down works out.
I seen a stat the other day where it was like, yeah, like if you were receiving that extra $600, you should have started a business, or you should have put all that money into savings. Like, bro, like you do realize like a good percentage of people on unemployment actually broke even and were still making what they made. So if they were still making what they made before that that extra 600, like if they made the exact same when they was getting 600 before, like how can you invest that when you were in debt?
True.
It doesn't make sense. Like, so if you were head over heels in debt and that extra 600, what could you do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, stop worrying about people that made it come up and just look at the whole picture. You need to judge if you're gonna be a pocket counter. You need to judge people individually,
or just don't be a
just don't do it at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not your business. If you're not receiving it, shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not really your business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain people, and then certain people that got that 600 made a less than what they were making. What about those people? You know
even with that 600, they're like, because unemployment itself is only like 60 or 70% of what you made at your job. So
no, it's not even that.
Oh, it's not even that here.
No, like
it's different for different states.
Like 50%.
Okay, because I know it was 75 in California, so I guess it's different for different states. But nonetheless, so you're making that much less. So that 600 is basically breaking even to what you made when you were working.
And for some of us, it was.
And then it's not like people that's on unemployment can just go back up and get a job. For example, because I did start a business during coronavirus, but at the same time, I had a lot of different advantages that a lot of people aren't blessed with. So nonetheless, even with that, me getting that done or whatever, like a lot of people they don't have that opportunity. Like they can't. So yes, you're right. They breaking even to where, yeah, they were making so now they're making, I guess, I don't know, maybe 1,200 or whatever. They still got the same rent. Like they probably having to borrow from people beforehand. So
right.
Yeah, it's just that, like, why are you mad at them? And, like, you're mad at the wrong people. Stop being mad at the wrong people and, like, use your power to improve your life instead of trying to diminish and lower someone else's quality of life. Improve your own.
Mind your business.
Mind your motherfucking business, bitch.
Mind your business. That's really all you have to do. Like,
stupid bitch.
If people just...
Long titty, no nipple having bitch.
I guess we're just gonna bring Kevin Hart back in. But at the gist, that's what it is. Like at the end of the day, just mind your business. Like it doesn't pertain to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're an essential worker, you don't have to go through this struggle. Why do you care? Like, you don't count my pockets. You don't know.
If anything, that was another part I was gonna make. These jobs, like, they're getting unemployment, but these jobs just they're not there. So it's not even like, it's going back to what you had mentioned about them not being lazy. Like, they would obviously love to work. I'll even give some perspective. So I got my degree in audio engineering back in December.
Right.
It was for specialty. I wanted to work on film. So I got it in December, came back to visit. Coronavirus got me stuck. I came back when my dad was passing. He did pass away in February.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Appreciate it, bro. And then after we got everything taken care of, Corona hit. So it kind of had me stuck here. But It also, one of the reasons it had me stuck here is because I have a job I have a degree where I'm trying to get a job in the audio engineering field as far as working on movies. And then Hollywood gets shut down.
Good.
So, and
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. So like I said, I had some advantages that allowed me to invest and then be able to build me a business and everything during this period. But at the same time, I just got this whole degree, and the entire industry that my degree was going to be in is shut down. So I'm not alone in that type of story right there. There's a lot of people that are in that situation, and again, not as fortunate as me. Like, we talk about privilege and stuff like that a lot, like the white privilege, all that kind of stuff, and they all exist. But I do want to also recognize privileges that I do have as well.
That you had to earn.
I had to earn, yeah, and then
it was not given to you.
Partially, I say that because, I don't know. I come from a family that's like, we're not rich, but we not poor. so I could have like that. What's the word I'm looking for? Like that backup, I guess. That's not the word I was looking for, but that's the
But
word
I
I'm
see,
gonna
I
use.
see what you're saying.
Yeah, like so. I had that where
you have a cushion.
I had this
But to get success, you still have to put the work in.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you're not privileged enough to, you know what I'm saying, to just
exactly
walk in and go grab that shit.
But it's still a privilege nonetheless. Is my point. Yeah. So that's what allowed me to be able to do this type of stuff or whatever. But like I said, a lot of people don't have that, and they're in these circumstances. So all I'm saying. I mean, let me ask, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that?
Mind your motherfucking business.
Cool. And
that's really it for real. Like,
and then my last thing I'll just add is just work on yourself, man. Get yourself right, and then yes, like you said, mind your business. Stop trying to get into everybody else's stuff, and just improve your situation. Work together with people. We're in a society, so as a society, we should work together to make our own, like all of our lives better. So,
facts.
So the last thing we're gonna go ahead and get into here is kind of going actually in regards to that. We're gonna expand in regards to how like the working class kind of goes against its own interest. All right, so lastly, we want to finally get into because this kind of coincides with what we were just talking about here. I want to get into how the working class kind of just works against its own interest. So what I mean by that is like, I don't know. I think about like, say for example, a policy that I've learned that's something that was like really important to me, just based off of things in my history, which was like Medicare for all. Medicare for all is something that has been shown that it would work. It would actually save the country about $2 trillion. And going back initially to what that fake news study, like they'll tell people how, like on say MSNBC, how it would cost 32 trillion overall over 10 years, but then it would save 34 trillion. So in other words, it was a net worth of $2 trillion. So that was one of those things to where, like I said, it was very important to me. Plus, I also went to do his website and seeing that, like, based off of my income, I would actually, like, as far as, like, what you pay as far as deductibles, and this is without even needing to have surgery or anything, I would have saved, like, $400 under Medicare for all compared to what I would be paying now. Mm-hmm. So, or with, like, the employment and everything. So, that's something that was in the interest, but it was so many people, like the reasoning, say people like normal working class people would be against it with stuff that just didn't make any sense, and it was like no critical thinking applied to it. Like for example, like people
just hate for real.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't want
mindless hate though.
I don't want to say it's based off of stupidity because that's the only thing that's coming in my head. I don't want to say that people are stupid, but like
I don't think they're stupid. I think
they're not informed.
I think they're informed too. I just think it's hate for real.
But like, why?
Because man, like people that hate you don't want to see you have anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they'll see it too. So
the information is there, and you can present the information to them. The information can be presented to them by other whites as well. Like,
well, I don't even mean just white people do it because I mean it's like, white people do it, yeah. But there's also like
it's like 90% white people.
Okay, I mean, I never did the statistic. Maybe,
yeah, like because this. I mean, if you really think about it, you know what I'm saying. These are the people that have a problem with these issues.
See, you would think that, but like older black people, for instance. So like, it's a lot of
well,
older black people were like
some, but not a lot.
A good portion.
You think so?
Like it was mostly like younger black people and other minorities and stuff that got it, but older black people were like. Those are the ones that I feel like have to be weaned off of like corruption. Like
but look at who they vote for.
That's my point. It goes against their own interest. So like they'll be on. I'll give you an example. Like I know. I don't want to just sound so pro Bernie Sanders, but it was just the policies that he had. But like, it was older people I talked to that were against him because of the fact that he called himself a socialist. But then those same exact people were on Social Security and Medicare. So it was like kind of ironic, and they just didn't understand that you're hating something that benefits you. Like you're one of the main benefactors of this, but you're against it, even though you benefit. And
right.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And then, like I said, part of it's like a mix between that and then like people's weird like for some reason feeling bad for billionaires. Like I don't want to demonize these billionaires. Like it's not even about that. Like it's about the fact that hey, like right now stuff is just not helping out the people who need to help the most.
Right.
Like, say some. I mean, I know he's an easy target, but I mean, just for the sake of, I don't feel like taking a moment right now to think of a whole bunch of people. Say like Jeff Bezos, him paying more in taxes is not an attack. That's not demonizing him. Like that's just, hey, you made this much. You got subsidies paid for by taxes for the stuff that you created. All your locations and warehouses, you're being paid by the cities that you're putting it into to put your business there. Plus, you're not paying taxes on said business anyway, and you're like,
it's just corruption.
Yeah, it's super corrupt.
It's
so
just corruption, but you know what?
But people feel, but if you point that stuff out, people like are claiming that you're demonizing. It's like, no, this is just facts, and it doesn't benefit the society because like a lot of people forget that we live in a society.
Yeah, where people work together.
Yeah, exactly. You have to, and then like you have to for it to maintain it. So that's why. Right, yeah, exactly. That's why, like, because so much of what's going on now is like taking up resources of stuff that like we all need, but for somebody they see, oh, they're benefiting from it at this specific second or in this specific conversation, so therefore it don't need to happen. Even though I would benefit from it too, but I don't want to see them benefit
that's
from it.
That's what I said. That's the hate right there.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
like because people just don't want to see like. I'll take back what I said. It is not a racist thing. I see it coming from more racist people, but there are black people that feel this way too. And
there's some black people that be like, well, fuck it, like racism is never gonna go away. I've had it my whole life, so let's just vote for racists.
Let's just vote for racists, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? This is an issue where I can't speak for other countries, but in this country, people just do not want to see people. First of all, people don't want to see people get anything for free. People don't want to see people thrive.
That's another misconception. None of it's like, free. Yeah, we're literally paying taxes. Right.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I guess if you're on welfare your whole life and you stayed on the system, it would be free for you. But
no, because you're still putting taxes back into the economy whenever you make purchases. So you're still boosting the economy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because
it's so welfare
not common. Is like $3 coming out your check, no matter what you make. It's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of people even doing it.
Yeah, it is not. Yeah, you're right. It's not.
Like, we'll know somebody or a couple people maybe, but it's not like we'll know a whole community of people that just on
welfare.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Like, so, but people
they have a good reason to be, because you can't just get it.
Yeah,
like you have to be pretty messed up to get this.
And a lot of those programs, you actually have to still work a certain set amount of hours per week.
Right.
But again, people are ill-informed or whatever, and that goes back kind of to the pocket watch conversation.
Just pocket watch, hating, and again on this conversation.
But they're not watching what they should be watching, and then like in this case here, like people are like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. You remember, you saw Don't Be a Menace, right? And this is probably the first time politically this movie has ever been referenced. But do you remember the scene where in the Asian convenience store where like the woman was like, hurry up and bite! Hurry up and bite! Yeah. So like, so they were watching Marlon super hard. But then the other guy was going around with a big ass bag, just shoveling stuff into his bag, reached around to the cash register, opened it up, took the money, and then the guy was like, hey, hold on, you forgot something, and gave him more money.
And walked out.
That's like kind of what's happening. Yeah, like we're watching, you're watching these people, but this guy is walking around with a bag, or this corporation is walking around with a bag, robbing you blind. And you worried about that person that's just trying to buy an ice cream cone.
Cleaners, man.
Like,
and it goes back to what I said earlier. Mind your motherfucking business, bro. Like, that's really all you got to do. Like, you don't have to do anything else. Like, mind your business. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mind your business and work on yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's even worse. You really need to mind your business because you're already ill-informed anyway. Like, and you're not even taking the time out to be informed. You just don't care. Like, you just have hate in your heart for no reason. Like, I don't know why you have this hate in your heart.
People just believe something and then like
just go for it.
They just go with it just based off of the established bias they've already created for themselves, and people don't like to get outside their own bubbles.
Yeah, and they don't want to change. You know what I'm saying?
So, because growth takes maturity that a lot of people don't have. Like, it takes maturity to be able to look at yourself and say, hey, I've thought about this wrong. I was probably wrong on this issue. Let me make some adjustments. Because, like,
just laziness.
It's very lazy.
Just laziness.
Like, I've had to do that. I think it helped when I went to, like, California, just in regards to, like, people. Like, when I was there, like, I started coming across, like, so many different, like, demographics of type of like, people and everything. Like, and because of that, and then it's like kind of like a lot of people I wasn't exposed to, say, living in Ohio, for instance. So because of that, I got to sit there and see these other people's experience and stuff like that. Maybe like mentally, like, I can't relate to your experience, but I can understand and I can empathize with your experience.
So
like,
lack of empathy.
There's a huge lack of empathy right now.
It's just.
So many people.
If I can't thrive, you can't thrive.
Or even if like if I think you're thriving anywhere near where I'm at, like, everyone just wants to, like, hold on and, like, take everything, but it's like you take everything and then what's left? There's nothing. Like,
that's it. If I can't succeed, you can't succeed. And that's just really what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or it's not even that though. Like, it's more like I can succeed. And I don't want you to succeed.
Or I can't succeed, but because I haven't done it yet, I want to take that anger out on you.
On you, right? Yeah. Like, it's because there's a couple scenarios how this goes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they don't want you to succeed.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Like, it really is just hate, man, for no reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're thriving and you're successful, then you shouldn't care what the person lower than you is doing, because you're already there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're, like, not successful and you're trying to thrive, you shouldn't even be thinking about the person lower than you anyway, or the person next to you, because you should be focusing on thriving. You know what I'm saying? The only person that should be mad is the person at the bottom. They're like, oh, bro, like, can I get help in here? Like, can somebody show me the way? Like, that's the person that should be stressed. Everybody else shouldn't even be stressed. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, like I said, I've been saying it. I'm going to say it again. It's just hate, man. Like, it's really just hate. And it's people with a lack of empathy. People just, like, you shouldn't want somebody else to struggle like you did to get it, bro. Like, why would you want
and
that,
that's
bro?
what kind of, and I'm going to be real with you, it's going to probably be maybe some older people or whatever, if they're listening, that might get upset or whatever, but, like,
I don't care.
I feel you. Like, I feel like the lie, it was such a lie sold to us, like, not, and I won't say every one of us or whatever, like, my parents were great, so I mean, they're supportive, so, like, but as a whole, it was a lie sold to our generation, I should say, that, like, when we were children, that it, like,
generations,
but, like, I'm specifically, like, they lied and said that they wanted better for their children, because when it comes down to anything better for your children, you don't want to do it,
right?
Like, so, like, there's no person that's, like, say, from where we grew up, who could get, say, their education, because, like, obviously 1 through 12 is already covered, or K through 12, I'm sorry, is already covered. Right. So the additional 4 years that you essentially need at this point in order to have a career that's worth a damn, you have to, like, since you haven't, why would you be against you no longer having to struggle and take out loans on your house for your kid to be able to go to school again? Like, why would you be against something like that? Or, like, it just, unless you're already rich, and then even if that's the case with the people that's already rich or whatever, like, they're not going to these, like, public colleges or whatever that type of programs would, like, help. So, like, those programs wouldn't apply to, like, Harvard or Stanford or any of these other, like, legacy schools or whatever like that. It would apply to, like, say, Akron U or something like that.
I don't know, I'm not going to say all our parents were bad.
That's why I say every parent, literally.
Yeah,
I mean, like, as a collective.
Yeah, like, as a whole, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, when I have kids, I don't want them to struggle like I did. I want their life to be easier. Wouldn't you want that? Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I say when it came to us, it was a lie. Just because when there's, like, they'll say it, but when it became an opportunity to make that happen, you're like, oh, well, we struggle, so you struggle too. And it's like, what? Like,
no, like, why?
Yeah, but then your struggle is actually harder because, again, like, right now, you can't make minimum wage and afford to live anywhere in America.
No, not at all. Like you might be able to get, like, a little studio, like, that's like a slum for like
maybe,
but like
I remember
you're gonna struggle though. You're gonna have to walk to work. Like,
yeah,
like
and then like you got, I remember like out in the Bay, people paying like nine, almost like basically like $2,000 like in the boondocks of like well out from like Oakland or whatever, paying like $2,000 for like a 1-bedroom apartment, and that's considered cheap. Like,
and it's not.
and then your minimum wage out there is only like $13 an hour. So it's like, how can someone survive?
Yeah, but
and then you want to, okay, that's what I'm saying. How does someone survive? And then you got people who be like, well, they should have done more. They should have went to school. Well, you're trying to charge them for that and leave them in debt for that. You don't give them that opportunity either.
Or you can have empathy and understand maybe that person went through something, and he or she wasn't able to bounce back and just
I feel like you don't even need like the emotional aspect of it, because like just the financial aspect of it, it just doesn't.
The financial aspect is bad, but it's situational. But yeah, you're right. Though.
I see, like because like I mean, I guess because each person's experience is going to be individual, whereas and this is multiple. Like this is generationally. Like
I think people should just stop judging people and like stop judging people.
They just wanted to not benefit. I had the conversation with somebody one time too, because like he was like against the whole cost and stuff or whatever, and I explained to him because this is the thing that a lot of people do. I just always want somebody, if you're gonna
jobs to survive.
Yes, it's insane. But like, I always want people, like whenever you have a feeling or your stance on something, just be honest about it. Don't lie to me about what you're claiming it's about when you know that's not what it's about. Like we have to if we're gonna have a debate, we have to have a debate with us both in the same reality in order for that to occur.
Yeah, just tell your honest feelings.
So with that being said, I was talking to a guy who would decided that he didn't like it, but he ended up, because I'm asking questions like, okay, so what about it wouldn't work? Okay, so compared, don't we need this, blah, 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 to where at the end of the day, he ran out of these fake excuses and finally was just like, I mean, you know, I didn't get it, so I don't really, I mean, I already paid mine off, so I was like, okay, so by your same logic, if we decided to find a cure for cancer tomorrow, should we not give it to anybody because of the fact that people have already died from cancer? Because that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the logic that they're using. Like, oh, because these loans were already paid, then they shouldn't do it. It's like, okay, so
great logic. It would never happen, but great logic.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're just gonna not distribute it because, oh man, we can't do it, man, because people have died from it.
People already died, so we can't save the other people.
And then, like, oh crap, we came out with the cure for polio, but people already died from polio, so we can't.
And we're making money.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying, right? That's the exact same logic that people would apply to something like education. It's like, dude, like, stop being a hater and just like, even if
let people thrive the way
let people thrive. Yes, it was late, you didn't get it, that sucks or whatever. But like, okay, there's other generations of people that's gonna come from you. Even hell, you're gonna eventually have children.
That's like me being mad because that's like us being mad because we didn't make it out of the music genre. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get rich or famous and any of that. So I'm gonna be mad at like some of these new cats that grew up with an upper hand with the technology. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we don't have that same, but I'm just saying that.
No, it's like, I mean, I was saying similar to that. Like, it would be like if I got mad at a kid who, like, grew up with Wi-Fi and be like, man, but I had to have AOL disc to get internet when I was a kid. Like okay, how dare they have their Wi-Fi?
That's just how shit works. Like, technology.
Technology, ideas grow.
Like, people grow, man.
Yeah,
like,
so.
You know what I'm saying? Every generation is going to have something that you didn't have. It's life.
And then also a lot of times too, those people who like somehow when they were older they've had to pay off loans. Like student loans back in those days, like the most debt you would end up with is like $3, $4, $5, maybe most $10,000. Now on average people getting like $60, $70, $100,000 in debt. So
even more than that.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's on the low end, honestly.
That's on the low end. Oh yeah, like
so like. And that's like, honestly, that's me being conservative in regards to the numbers. So
you're good if you only have $100,000.
Honestly, well, you're still
you're in a shitload of debt.
But like,
it's people out there,
and you're paying this for $30,000. I mean, I'm sorry, 30 years, I should say. Or and then they taking away programs that can help people with their debt and stuff like that. So under Betsy DeVos's dumbass, but that's another topic again for another day. So all in all, it's just like. People just need to like wake up and pay attention to what's around you. Like, definitely vote. Like, I mean, I know that sounds tired to some, but like, it's important, yo. Like, you can't really say, "Oh, this sucks" and whatever when you have the opportunity every 2 years to do something about it and you choose not to. Like your point, like is and again, you don't have to vote a certain way, but you still vote. Like, and I don't know. So that's one of the reasons why I say even with like Trump, he's trying to stop people from voting because he knows that if people get out there and vote, and actually the populace has their opinion placed or who they decided they want to be the leader, it probably won't benefit him. So yeah, so like that's why he's trying to stop it. But that also kind of again that goes to what I was saying earlier. That shows the power that people have, like it's strength in numbers. Like so, use that power to your advantage. And
honestly, if people just had a lack of empathy, no, not lack of empathy, because we already have a lack of empathy. If people just had an ounce of empathy in their blood, we wouldn't be in half the situations that we're in.
Oh yeah, because
that's
like this,
what it is, bro.
Because if you look at other countries, like
empathy.
Even with this whole COVID situation, you look at other countries like Germany and stuff, and Sweden and everything. It's funny. That's another thing. Like you got this guy talking about, well, Sweden and Germany opening up, we should be too. But yeah, we're not doing what Sweden and Germany did. We're selfish. We wanted to call, even though the Constitution don't mention nothing about masks, we want to say it's unconstitutional to wear a mask. It's like saying it's unconstitutional to wear a shirt.
Because we care about the image.
Mm-hmm.
The rich celebrity image. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all America really cares about, man. America does not really care about their people. They care about the image.
They got idol worship.
Idol worship. There you go. They care about the image, the rich, the money.
They don't care about what someone like says. It's just who they are, and that's all that matters to them.
I'm not saying every country is like this, but it's other countries that really just care about their people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. Like, why is this country so?
Because we have the delusion of claiming to be the best country in the world, despite the fact that no numbers actually say it. That's like the kind of nationalist thing.
I just don't understand that.
Like the only thing that we're number one in regards to like the world is gun deaths, prison to outside population, and ironically, right now we're one of the tops as far as getting COVID. So that's where we succeed.
And also the top of having a lack of empathy for our own people.
And yeah, exactly. Like, because our country is more about punishment than it is about like feeding or being a society. Sadly, we live in a society, but people are treated like
same people that are mad about these issues are not helping veterans have a home right now.
I'll even give you another one as far as interest. So okay, so we've heard defund the police, right?
Right.
So if you really think about defunding the police, all it's doing is taking the workload off of cops and reallocating those resources to these programs. Because people always want to say when they say something about, say, Chicago, right? So you're putting all this money into the law enforcement of Chicago, but you're not putting any money into the communities in Chicago to where they can better themselves. You're not putting the money into the schools to where they can educate themselves and learn that they can have something beyond what they're doing in these streets or whatever. So you're taking money and resources off of them to put it into the hands of people who are going to cops buying tanks and buying army type of gear as a normal police officer, and then you're overworking these police officers, sending them to handle everything from mental health cases to homeless. Like, they're sitting there destroying homeless people and stuff. Like, you should have social workers and have different departments that go out to this. Like, make it like a branch as opposed to just a direct line to the police. So
you know what else is crazy, man? I'm gonna touch base on this. Like, before I say it, I don't have a problem with this, but it is weird, and I think it needs to be fixed in a way. It needs to be better. In other countries, celebrities don't make as much as they do here. You ever notice that? Like, like a police officer or a firefighter in other countries, they actually make an honest living here. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Our entertainment makes a lot more money, so that makes sense in a sense. But our people that works on the front line
don't make
essential workers
nothing at all. That's what I was saying. I'm not saying I have an issue. I don't have an issue with LeBron James being almost a billionaire. I don't have an issue
our
with
movies
that.
make a lot of money.
So I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue is you have people like LeBron James that makes that's almost worth $1 billion, which is fine. But How come you like firefighters, man? Come on, dude. They shouldn't be making 50, 60,000, man. That's $100,000 a year
I
job,
think
dude.
teachers shouldn't have to only make
Teachers
$40,000,
Some they start off at like 25, 30.
and that's crazy
That's
because nobody would
ridiculous.
be
Like,
anything if it wasn't for teachers.
yeah, like this. They are helping hand in raising you to be who you are, and they only get paid 25 to 50 grand a year.
And
That's
because they
pathetic.
keep taking so much money out of the education system, they got to do stuff like buy
Buy their own
supplies.
supplies.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So all these programs are being defunded and taken away that would improve society, but they always focus on punishment. So therefore, defunding the police is something a non-starter to them because they just want to punish.
You got to pay to get a trade these days. Back in the day, you could get a trade in high school for free.
See?
You know
That's
what
what I'm saying. Because now college is a requirement, but yet we don't want to cover. We want to send everyone in debt. Like student loan debt is going to be what's going to be the bust. It's going to bust the bubble the same way the housing crisis did back in 2008.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, nobody. I don't know. Like I said, people are just selfish, man. They don't care about if you're at the bottom. They want you to kill yourself to just be just to survive. You have to die basically. Like it's crazy, dude. Like it's
Oh yeah, now they're trying to sacrifice people and literally put them out to die just so they can get the economy up. But
isn't it crazy how that works, man?
Mm-hmm.
Man. Yeah.
But look, we've run out of time here today, so we're gonna go ahead and end this. But before we go, again, we want to thank everybody who turns in. You are greatly, greatly appreciated, and we definitely want to continue to bring this content here to you as long as you want to hear it. So, again, this is your boy West Meets World.
It's your boy, the Indigo Rye.
And we are out.